Here is lesson 1.5 for bass clef instruments. That's trombone, mostly, some percussion, baritone, and tuba. Alright, in this lesson we'll discuss how to read notes and how to find notes. Okay? You have already read through, make sure I found the right book. You've already completed lesson 1, and you noticed that very handy and helpful section at the top that shows the names of the spaces and the names of the lines on the staff. Okay? Hopefully you've already begun learning that, because that is one of the most important things for beginners. But I want to exaggerate. I'm going to give you some more information so you can find any note just about anywhere. Alright, first of all, this is the bass clef. You know that. It's sometimes called the F clef. Do you know why? Because it centers around the F line. Okay? Now, with the first note we know in the book, we know that middle line is a D. Okay? We'll switch colors here. Okay, so we know that's a D. That I want you to make your bass note. Okay? You know, like this is your bass. This is where you can come back to all the time. You know it's a D. You know, middle line and staff, it's a D. You've got that. Okay? If you have another note that's your bass, that works too. That's fine. Okay? Now, when we find notes, as we travel up the staff, we ascend pitch-wise. We'll travel forwards in the alphabet. And in the musical alphabet, there are only 7 letters. Okay? There are no more, no less. Okay? And so when we travel up the staff, we go forwards in the alphabet. If we go down the staff, we will go backwards in the alphabet. Okay? So we have our letter D. Let's say we're trying to find out what that note is, that first space on top of the staff. Okay? So in order to go up, we have to think, okay, here's our bass note, D. We will always know where that D is. Okay? When you go up, you have to go up in the staff. I'm sorry, you have to go forwards in the alphabet. And you cannot skip a line or space. Okay? So you have D. What's next in the alphabet? You have an E. That's the space. And then what's next in the alphabet? F. It's a line. And then G. Okay, so far we've gone line, space, line, space. We'll always do that. Never skip a line or a space. Okay? Now we've made it to G. That's the end of our alphabet. Where do we go? We go back to A and continue along. Okay? So that line is A, and that space, next note in the staff is B. So this is a B. Okay? Now let's go below the staff. Alright? Again, start with your bass note. You have your D. When you go down, you're going backwards in the alphabet, and we cannot skip any spaces or any lines. Alright? So we have our D. What's before D? We have a C. That's on the space. Now the next line, what's before C? We have a B. And then we have A. And then what do we do once we get to the end? Go back to the other side. So we have G. G is your line. And then the next space is F. And then line is E. And then space, D. And then line, space, C. Okay, so that note is a C. That's how you figure out where a note is. It doesn't matter anything about a note. You just have to have your bass note. You have a D. We know where the D is. Work up or down the alphabet to find out your note. Okay? Now, if your bass is a B, great. If it's a G, great. Doesn't matter. It can be whatever you want. Alright, now let us come over here and get a little bit of practice at this. Alright, I want you to find that note. Okay? Now remember, start with your bass note. I'm going to go ahead and give you that one because that you should know. D is that bass note for us, okay? Work your way up. Don't skip any spaces. Don't skip any lines. Work your way all the way up to that. When you get to G, remember to start back over at A. Alright, I'm about to tell you the answer, so if you haven't found it yet, go ahead and pause the video and find it. Alright, the answer is F. Did you get that? Were you close? If you're close, then chances are you just missed one letter or you just skipped one line or space. Okay? So let's go through it. We have D. Going up, we have E, F, G, and then that's where we start over. So A, first space is B, next line is C, next space is D, next line is E, and then the space is F, which is that note. Okay, did you get that? Can you see that all right? There we go. All right, one more. I want you to find that note. Okay? Remember, as you go backwards, don't skip any spaces, don't skip any lines. When you get to A, you got to start back at G. Alright, go ahead and pause the video and try to find it, because I'm going to go ahead and go with your answer, which is... So I had to pause the dramatic effect. G. Alright, so we work our way down. C, B, A, G, and that's where you, sorry, A, then you start back over at G, sorry I'm thinking this backwards. Okay, and then G you have F, E, D, C, B, A, and then there's your G. Okay, this takes a while, doesn't it? That's okay, because after you do this and you know how to find your notes, eventually you're just going to memorize it. And then you won't have any trouble with it. Alright, this was lesson 1.5. Thank you.